Hey there everyone, Lord Veggie here with a rather different version of Aether Raids Battle Dump today. This one's actually going to be fully commentated, unlike other ones. That's just because I didn't have an Aether Raids offense video this week. Daylight savings time hit me a lot harder than I thought it was going to. And this is the route I decided to go, instead of just doing Aether Raids offense a day late and then Aether Raids Battle Dump a day late. So, yeah, I don't really expect to do this too often, but let's go ahead and take a look at the maps from the previous week, and hopefully you all enjoy this. I'm going to go ahead and set in the Brunia team up against this Cav line. I could probably also have made the Dragon Wagon work, but I really just didn't want to deal with all that calculation I'd have to do. So I ended up doing this instead. I'm just going to move Brunia up one space, then refresh her with Plumeria. That's going to give her field buffs and apply penalties to Mia. And then move Brunia up one more space. Now she is in range to take on Lynn and Mia. And she gets support from Plumeria with her Distant Guard, Drive Attack, and Flower of Plenty. So I'm actually expecting to see a rally out of the Seer. That was apparently not the right call. Oh, I see what happened. She had ground orders, and she can deal at least 5 damage to Brunia, so that forced her to not attack. But then once Mia moved, she could no longer ground orders and have Brunia in range, so then she did apply the post-combat rally to Nana. Okay, that's interesting. So let's see, I really want to get Plumeria up to that space above the Bolt Trap, but I can maybe do a double smite here? Certainly. I think, yeah, I can with Naga and Regan. I just need to move Makai out of the way. Let me go ahead and do that. And what that's going to do is, the Seer, again, is initially has her attack prioritized because she can deal at least 5 damage, but Nana's combat comes before the Seer's because Nana doesn't die. And what I'm expecting is for Seer to apply a post-combat rally to Nana. No matter where she rallies from, she's not going to threaten anyone. Like, even if she'd rallied from the space above Nana, which she doesn't, probably because that space is threatened and the space she actually rallied from is not. It would not have been a problem because if Mirabelle's had refreshed her, there was nobody in her attack range, so there was no threat. Let's see here. I think what I do is I let Mirabella's attack into Brunia here. And that's, since Brunia doesn't have close counter or close foil, Mirabella's is going to live. She's not going to attack Altina, because Altina would completely obliterate her. And then Seer will attack into Brunia and probably die. So let me go ahead and just shuffle my units around here. Mirabella's combat, I believe, will be prioritized, since, again, like Nana last turn, she doesn't die. And the Seer, yeah, exactly as I was expecting, she goes down. And now what I can do is I can actually grab the Aether Fountain by moving Regan 3 spaces up. I will give her a refresh from Plumeria. Reposition with Altina, that gets her in range. She can grab the fountain, and then Brunia can finish the job. So for this prison setup, I really want to take advantage of the wall of structures here. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to kick things off by taking out Eliwood and Saros. Micaiah will take out Eliwood from over the walls, and Brunia will take out Saros and get refreshed and take out the Jenny. That's going to eliminate the dazzling staff factors. And it's going to get rid of all the melee units who would otherwise be able to attack Brunia scot-free. So I obviously want to avoid that. Go ahead and take a little bit of time to set up here. I really do want to give Brunia the Divine Fang bonus from Naga so she can more easily take out the Saros. And I believe I can actually, yeah, I should be able to get that to her now. Because Naga has Wings of Mercy. She can warp to Regan once Regan moves. Over here? Yeah, I can do this. And then, yeah, perfect, just like that. And then I guess do I want to move from area? Might as well. Okay, so turn 2. So I am in position to initiate now. Although actually, wait, it's turn 3. I don't want to do that. Yeah, no, that's definitely not. Oh, not with a 35 damage bolt tower waiting to decimate my poor Brunia. So let me go ahead and actually I can move Micaiah out of the way of the bolt tower as well. And And then I'll just leave Altina there. I do need her there. She's going to be important in that position, actually, for reasons I will discuss in a moment. Let me go ahead and just smite Brunia up. She can take out the Saros. After that, I will be able to refresh Brunia and take out the Eliwood. And the reason I have Altina there is she's going to act as a backstop, because I'm going to smite Plumeria over to the right-hand side, and Altina, being where she is going to stop Plumeria from traveling too far. I want her to be directly below the right-hand defense tile, because Brunia is going to be on the right-hand defense tile, and placing her below the defense fort, is going to give Brunia that sweet support that Plumeria can provide through the distant guard, drive attack, and Flower of Plenty. So that is my objective here. Let me go ahead and unfortunately the pain damage is going to hit Micaiah, but it doesn't really matter. She's not going to see combat for the rest of this battle, I don't think, unless I have to bring her in to fight Duma. Brunia, however, should be able to deal with him historically. Historically, she's had a pretty good matchup against Dumas. So Lachesis attacks first. That's interesting. Although I suppose it's not super. Yeah, no, I should have expected that, since Lachesis targets deaf, and Brunia's res is much higher, and she and Cecilia both have color advantage.
I will face
although I am a little interested as to why Claude wasn't prioritized over Thesir. Does he not actually deal damage to her? No, he does. Perhaps. Oh no. There's a factor there. It's what is it? I forget what the factor is, but it's a factor that prioritizes dealing damage at triple the rate of taking it.
Yes.
Or is it another one? I think there's a couple of other factors that I'm thinking of. One involves when the enemy actually gets healed from your combat, which Brunia did. Okay. So it's basically there's a rule, and if I actually cared about it at this point, I would mention it, but I don't. Duma is going down to Brunia, and that will finish the job. This map is another cav line. Interestingly, I'm going to take a slightly different approach here. I'm actually going to stick Brunia 2 spaces below Veronica. What that's going to do is, since Veronica prevents Brunia from counterattacking, it's going to create a bottleneck. And I'm thinking that Lyn actually moves into that space, which should make her really easy to pick off. Let me go ahead and move some stuff around. I'm going to break this with Micaiah and then smite Brunia up a space, or 2 spaces rather. Okay, that trap is real, no big deal there. Let me go ahead and refresh Micaiah, place her in range of Reinhardt. She's going to be able to tank him on the enemy phase. And let me go ahead and move Brunia here without breaking any of the buildings. So, hit end turn, and we will see how this plays out. So, yeah, as expected, Veronica attacks, and because Saros is the 7th unit and I haven't killed anyone, she does not have her action, and even if Mirabelle has had ground orders, Veronica, again, is blocking the way. So, poor Reinhardt gets completely walled up by Micaiah and just gets obliterated by Glimmer, which is perfectly fine by me. And let's see if Lyn actually moves where I think she's going to move. And she does. Excellent, excellent. And Thesir actually repositions Veronica. That's interesting. Let me take some thinking time here.
By your will.
So what I'm going to go ahead and do is move Brunia out of the way. Regan will be able to take out the Lyn, though it's actually a rather close call since Regan has the Blitzscale penalties on her. Quite unfortunate. And then she's going to be able to Kanto out of the range of Thesir and Saros. And then over on the right-hand side, I will break the Snow Fountain with Micaiah, refresh her, and take out the Silk. Micaiah's effective damage is going to come in really handy here.
I'm right here.
Because Micaiah is in range of Veronica, Veronica is going to be forced to attack her. And because the space to where that bolt trap is, 2 spots below the Aether Fountain, is quote-unquote safer, that's where she's going to attack from. Then she's going to receive Mirabilis' Refresh, and she's probably going after Plumeria at that point. Plumeria doesn't have Mystic Boost, but I don't think she nets the KO on her. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. We'll actually have to see. I maybe should have run those numbers, but I was... Oh, I really should have. That matchup was closer than I thought it was going to be. If Veronica had a attack-boosting A passive, that would have probably been troublesome.
As you say.
But as it stands, how am I going to run this?
Let's go together.
Let's see, Micaiah... Yeah, well, Micaiah can take out the Veronica.
I want you by
And then
my
actually
side.
what I think I can do is, now that Plumeria is under half HP... I can warp Naga to her. And what that's going to let me do is yeah, I can smite her over here. And then Altina should be able to reposition her over into the corner.
Yeah.
And then
With
from there,
utter
Regan can smite her
certainty.
up 2 spaces.
Over here?
Yes, that's what I'll do. And that near winning matchup on Saros now becomes completely winning once I have
By your
Brunia
will.
wait. Although actually,
As you say.
what is that?
I'll do
Why does
it.
she deal more damage now?
Yes.
Oh well, I'll figure that out later. And she's... Oh wow, she can, she can just straight up one-shot her now. That's nice. Although, does Dragon Wall stop her? I'm not really sure what the res comparison is. Okay, it doesn't give her any mitigation. And now Brunia is protected from the Mirabilis by the Panic Manor. And Thosir is going to be forced into attacking. She is, of course, going to go down very nicely. So let me go ahead and...
I will
Actually, I'm
face
very
my fate.
curious. I think Mirabilis should move to the left, because that is where Plumeria is. She should see... I can deal the most damage to Plumeria. Yes, exactly. She goes that way. That is fine by me.
By
Let me
your
go
will.
ahead and
Close your
force her
eyes.
into...
As you say.
force her into
Consider it done.
attacking Brunia. And then over on the right-hand side, I will move Naga in position to grab the fountain on the next turn. And this should be pretty smooth sailing from here, so I'm just going to go ahead and play this one out.
What is your desire?
Yes.
Alright, so this setup
Bern
should
will
be a job for the Brunia team. I'm going to take a couple turns of setup here, and then I will initiate by eliminating Veronica, Chris,
By your
and
will.
Duma between 2 actions
utter
from Brunia and
certainty.
1 action from
Close your
Micaiah.
eyes.
Ninian will be forced to attack into Micaiah, which is perfectly fine by me because Micaiah has Mystic Boost and Ninian's
Consider
attack
it
is
done.
pretty garbage anyway. So we will have to go ahead and see how...
Yes.
just go ahead and move my units around here.
Chris here.
Hit and turn. So, I don't think anything really happens here, except for that restore. Shoot, that actually throws a huge wrench in my plans. Let me take some thinking time here. Alright, so I totally
As you
forgot
say.
that bonus structure this week is Armor School and that it affects
I'll do
Duma.
it.
I really hate it when
You
that
have
happens,
my
just because
trust.
normally I don't have
Yes.
to worry about Restore Trap in Astra Season, just because my team's only long-range penalty is Sweet Dreams
I
from
won't lose.
Area. But in this case, I do have to worry about it, and it kind of sucks. But, oh well, it's only a
Over here?
minor adjustment. But I
It
don't
will
think
be
I'm going to be able
done,
to eliminate all 3 of the bottom row enemies now. Let me go ahead and shuffle my units around. I can maybe take a stab at it. Let me go ahead and move Micaiah up a
together.
space, and then Naga can move in behind her. That will grant Micaiah the Divine Fang bonus on the next turn, just in case she needs it. Let's move Regan here, and do I need... I think I need to move Plumeria.
With utter
Hold on.
certainty.
Yeah, moving Altina here will allow me to reposition Plumeria onto that heavy
not?
trap, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to smite Brunia 2 spaces up. Then she can take out the Chris, and then a refresh will allow Brunia to go on to take out
won't
the
lose.
Veronica, and then a smite from Naga will let Micaiah move on to take out the Duma. That is
By
the
your
plan. So let me go ahead and take out the Chris here. And, I mean, exactly as I described, I'm just going to go ahead and reposition Plumeria up 2 spaces.
Consider it done.
Provide that refresh. Okay, that heavy trap is real, but inconsequential. She only needs to move 1 space anyway. And I can't attack the Veronica because that would expose Plumeria to Iago. So, oh well. Brunia should be able to handle a round of combat with all of these units, honestly, if it really came down to it. I don't think it's going to happen, but
I won't give in.
I think she could deal with it if she really needed to. So let me go ahead and just move. I think I can move Micaiah and Naga up because when Veronica attacks, she is going to be hindered by that trench tile just two spaces below Minion. So there's no danger in moving my Micaiah and Naga up here. So, okay, Veronica is prioritized. That's interesting. And then we should see an attack out of Mirabilis. I was actually expecting a refresh to come out, but I suppose Mirabilis' combat was prioritized. Oh, and interesting, Veronica does not land a KO, so she her restore action on Iago was prioritized. So I can take out Mirabilis here with Brunia, get a very, very small heal off of the off of that 4 HP remaining, but it doesn't really matter. I believe Brunia should be able to deal with Iago, and then what I'm going to want to do is actually go ahead and smite Altina up.
Over here?
And since she only has 1 movement, she's going to take out the Panic Manor, and that's going to enable me to smite Micaiah up 2 spaces so she can deal
By your will.
with the Veronica. Although actually, I think she only needed to be bumped up 1 space. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's nice to have the Panic Manor out of the way either way, but... I think my brain just refused to calculate the amount of movement you need. Oh well. So let me go ahead and smite her up anyway. I can have her attack the Veronica. Her effective damage will allow her to eliminate her easily, and she can survive a round of combat with Ninian on the enemy phase, because Ninian's attack is kind of blech, and Micaiah does have Mystic Boost. So that'll do it for this turn. And then it's just a matter of grabbing the Aether Structures and finishing Ninian off, so I'm just going to go ahead and play this one out.
As you say.
Certainly.
Why not?
With utter certainty. Finally, a test.
So here we have a Shadows of Valentia theme team, though you might not know it based on the username of +10 Morgan, unless there's secretly a Morgan in Shadows of Valentia that I'm not aware of.
Yes.
I'm going to very easily initiate on this map by breaking the tactics room and going after the legendary Azura. That'll take care of the refresher. And I will basically just deal with the Berkut last, although I don't know if I necessarily even need to. Micaiah's effective damage should be able to one-shot if it really came down to it, but I don't really, it doesn't really matter either way, so I'm going to just go ahead and shuffle my units around here. Next turn I will go ahead and initiate combat. Again, taking out the legendary Azura and just letting the remaining enemies advance.
Over here?
So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, interesting. That trap was fake.
By your will.
Not that it really matters. Plumeria is close enough that it wouldn't have mattered. Actually, even if she had... I guess if she hadn't been in range of that heavy trap, then she would have just been able to move 2 spaces anyway.
Yes.
I don't know, not sure what I'm thinking there. Okay, so let me
my
go ahead
trust.
and just go ahead and move my units in closer. We'll see what happens here. Okay, Alm goes to rally. That's all right. Let me go ahead and take
By your
out
will.
the Celica. And then what I want to do is I want to put some distance between Brunia and the rest of my units so that she can have her solos active when Dulthea attacks her.
Why not?
I'll just
What
go
is your
ahead and
desire?
move my
Certainty.
units down. So we will have to see how this goes. Okay, rallies again, I should have expected that. And Brunia does manage to take out the Dalthea. Duma should advance, and then I believe my play here is to just attack the Duma, and then refresh Brunia and attack the Alm. Since Duma only moves one space, Brunia will be able to, does have the movement range to get to the Alm after attacking Duma. That 42 damage hit from the Duma is quite unfortunate. And well, actually, I might not be able to attack the Alm here, depending on how much damage he deals to Brunia.
I won't give in.
Although she does get a soul here, so that's nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't see him doing a 42 on the enemy phase. That was an arc. So a quick refresh. Oh, and he gets penalties too. Oh, and he gets one shot. I really had nothing to worry about there, didn't I? Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and figure out what the heck I'm doing here. I think what I want to do is smite Micaiah over towards Berkut. She is going to be able to take him out on the enemy, on the next player phase. Sorry, and then I will be able to just grab the Aether Fountain before having her finish that job.
Let's go together.
Okay, so just wanted to double check that matchup, and yeah, let's have her finish this. This map looks like it was supposed to be a space suppression-ish setup, but I've honestly found that this terrain is not really conducive to space suppression. I mean, maybe if you leave the fourth column open, then you can maybe do something. But what I've found is it's just mostly not really a good space suppression map. I'm going to go ahead and break some structures here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Micaiah delete the Eliwood, the Eliwood on the left, the sword Eliwood. And then I will have Brunia take out the lance, the brave Eliwood on the right. And Brunia is going to be in position to
Close your eyes.
tank Plumeria and Ishtar on the enemy phase, while on the left-hand side, Micaiah is actually going to get a refresh of Plumeria so that she can escape the enemy's threat range. Over on the left, Mirabilis will advance first just because she's closer to targets. I really just wanted to check the matchup there. I don't want to initiate this turn because of the Bolt Tower, but now that it's turn 4, it's safely activated and not done anything to anyone, so I am able to delete the Eliwood. That's a lot less damage than it was over on that space within Mirabilis' range. I'm not really sure why that was. I guess part of it is that she didn't get Flower of Plenty, but that's 76 from 90 is a pretty big swing. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. Go ahead and take out the Eliwood, and then proceed with the enemy phase. So we'll have to see, just verify that all goes according to plan. I'm thinking Plumeria probably kicks things off here. I don't think Ishtar actually even does any damage to Brunia, so no way would she be prioritized. Yeah, no. Plumeria hits 22. And it gets eliminated by the counterattack. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of healing off the soul. But again, the only thing she's fighting on, the only other thing she's fighting on this turn is the Ishtar, who is, as I mentioned, not a problem. So let's go ahead and, oh yeah, she takes 0 damage and does over double her HP in return. Nice. So let's see here. Again, Mirabilis should advance first, and she does. I mean, I guess it didn't really matter if Doom might advance first because he doesn't have 2 movement. I'll go ahead and take out the Mirabilis here,
face my fate.
and then I will be able to grab the Aether structure before finishing the job. I think I can actually have Brunia go over towards the
By your will.
the right-hand side. Micaiah is going to be able to destroy the Duma quite effectively with
Let's go together.
Did not mean to I did not intend that play on words, and I apologize for the terrible pun. But there you have it. So Micaiah is going to be able to delete the Duma to finish the job. So this map actually belongs to somebody on my friends list who has been on the mock battle series. I don't actually remember if this is the same map as the one I mock battled against. I didn't really check, but I'm going to be employing a hit and run strategy here, attacking the Saros and then just retreating. Let me go ahead and test this heavy trap because that's where I want to attack the Saros from. And now, since that's not real, I can go ahead and move into attack the tactics room and just kind of shuffle my units around here. Next turn, I'll go ahead and break the Aether Fountain with Micaiah and then just set Brunia up with the Divine Fang bonus so she can one-shot the Saros. And I will be able to run far enough away so that Brunia herself is not it will only be able to, will only have to fight, rather, either the Seer or Julia, whichever one of them moves first. I'm not sure which one. I believe the tiebreaker in this case is slot order, which obviously I don't know. So let me go ahead and smite Brunia up. And I've just realized that I can't do what I wanted to do. Let me take some thinking time here. So I wanted to refresh reposition without moving Naga, but obviously that's not going to work. so let me go ahead and get Naga out of the way, and then reposition her over into the corner, refresh and reposition, and I'll have to get Plumeria out of range to support hit and turn. Brunia can't actually KO Julia or Seer, and Kagero's going to go ahead and Wings of Mercy to, I guess, the Seer. And from there, I'm going to go ahead and take some more thinking time just to figure out how I want to deal with this situation. So the next step here is to attack the Seer with Regan. Regan is going to be able to Kanto away, and then I can take out the Kagero with Altina. Unfortunately, I totally forgot that Altina has bonus stats this season, which she actually could have taken a hit from Kagero due to that. And I could have left her in range of Kagero, since she did have Wings of Mercy. She warped in. I could have had her attack into Altina and just die. But I totally forgot. I ran all my numbers as if Altina didn't have bonus unit stats, and well, that's unfortunate. Fortunate on the other end of the spectrum. Fortunately, Flame is going to start restoring here, and she's going to consume Sigurd's Refresh, so there is no threat from the enemies being able to attack me this turn. And let me see, how do I want to run this? What's the situation here? So can Brunia...
Over here?
Can Brunia... Okay, so she can one-shot the Duma. And what's the Regan into Julia match? Oh, wow, that's better than I thought it was going to be. And I can... So it's a 3-hit KO. So what I can do here is refresh Regan. And then with the third hit, that'll activate her Gale Force. Yeah. And so she can just go ahead and run away. I might as well just have her break this armor school en route to the Aether Amphore. And Brunia, perfect, can take out the Duma. And I guess what I need to do here is move Micaiah 2 spaces up. That will force Flame to attack from the spot above the defense fortress. I don't want her attacking from the spot to the left of the defense fortress, because then she'd have other units in range once Sigurd refreshes her. So let's just hit and turn. Micaiah should be perfectly fine. She has Mystic Boost and a lot of res. Oh, I guess she doesn't have Joyful Vows. Oh shoot, that was closer than I thought it was going to be. Alright, let me take some final thinking time to make sure I know how to finish this off. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and smite Brunia up 2 spaces. She is going to be able to 2-hit KO the Flame. And from there, I can just grab the Aether Amphore with Regan, and then refresh Brunia with Plumeria. She should be able to take out the Sigurd. And if not, there's really no danger. Sigurd can't KO Plumeria, and Brunia blocked him from reaching Regan. Alright, unfortunately, this one is going to be a loss. I didn't calculate matchups, like at all. And I just didn't do that thing that I say you should always do, which is have a plan that lasts through the first enemy phase of AI aggression. I completely ignored that advice. So, yeah, make a plan that lasts through the first enemy phase of AI aggression, friends, and that should wildly improve your success rate. Idun was able to take out the Seer, but unfortunately, between the remaining attacks from the foes, she went down, and then Surface, I believe, also did go down. So I guess sit back and enjoy the show, or cringe at the show, or do whatever it is you're gonna do, but yeah, that one's unfortunate. I'm just gonna go ahead and let this one play out.
no less. Isn't it too soon? I bestow this blessing. Let's sing a merry tune. Wake up time! The merriment was in excess.
This final setup is a very interesting map here. It's a not threatening version of a very threatening setup that I have seen going a couple, not super often, but I've seen it here and there. And the setup I'm talking about uses basically the same units, but it has 2 refreshers instead of 1 Naga. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is move Brunia over to the left-hand side. She's going to be able to fight Lyn on the enemy phase, and then Micaiah is going to be able to deal with the Reinhardt. Now, because Naga isn't a refresher, when Eliwood moves, he's not going to get a refresh, which is going to prevent him from doing anything meaningful here. I'm a little concerned that Lyn does not get doubled by Brunia here. I thought I calculated out such that she did, but Plumeria doesn't have Wings of Mercy, and even if she did, 1, Lyn's not in range to attack anyone other than Brunia, and 2, she wouldn't have done anything to Brunia really anyway. So, well, she wouldn't have killed her, I guess is what I'm getting at. She would have dealt quite significant damage, obviously. But, yeah, so let me go ahead and see what I want to do. Oh, you have close counter. What? Oh, alright, I can't say I was expecting that. Or I could, except I'd be lying. Altina should maybe be able to take out... Yes, perfect. Altina can take out the Veronica. And then I can have Brunia take out the Lyn. Definitely want to do that. And then I should be able to have Micaiah take on the Eliwood with her cavalry effective damage. And then after that, we'll have to see what happens. Maybe Micaiah is able to take... Oh, she is actually able to take out the Naga.
Certainly.
I might just have her do that then. Nice.
I'm right here.
Okay, sweet. So, go ahead and take out the Eliwood. And then give her a refresh.
Close your eyes.
Right there. Take on the Naga. And I am belatedly realizing that this is not going to enable me to grab the Aether structures. But I wasn't able to get Plumeria out of range of Naga, and I didn't want Naga attacking into Micaiah twice, despite the fact that she does have Mystic Boost. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it. I mean, this is the last match of the season anyway. It just would have been nice to actually have the foresight to to play around that. Since Naga was definitely going after Plumeria, it would have been very easy to delay this by a turn at least. Oh well, doesn't really matter. And that is it. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Aether Raids Battle Dump. Again, I would like to mention that I don't think I'm going to be doing this much in the future, if ever, so just something to be aware of. Next week, I hope to resume normal Aether Raids offense content. with the usual analysis and then battle commentary format. So I hope to see you in a week for that. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.